If you want your college tuition paid for in the 41st millennium, your choices are either to join the Imperial Guard and have them cover it, or to sell your soul to Tzeentch for promises of access to endless forbidden knowledge. Either way, you'll probably end up dead pretty quickly. In this video, I'll be showing you how to build the cultists of the Changer of Ways, more specifically the followers of the Thousand Suns, and by the end you should have a cultist much like the one you see before you here. So, let's get started. The core of this conversion is the Corvus Cabal kit. You can buy 10 of these as a Warcry set, or save a little bit of money and buy 20 for Age of Sigmar instead. Either way, they make perfect bases for your conversion. From Zangors to the Lord of Change, the followers of Tzeentch certainly have an avian influence, and the bird skull masks, feather cloaks, and bird familiars fit perfectly in with the Tzeentchian aesthetic. All they need is a brighter paint job, of course. So you'll want to start off by clipping off the parts required to build one of the Corvus Cabal members. I'll be using the regular rank and file minis here, but the more elaborate Cabal members make for excellent unit leaders. Before we can begin to assemble the parts, we need to do a little trimming and adjusting first. Doing these things will be much easier to do now than trying to get into those hard to reach spots once we've assembled everything. Begin by shaving off the bird symbols on the belt plate. You can keep these if you want, but it's a simple change that will allow us to have a little differentiation between these miniatures and the Corvus Cabal. Feel free to use a knife or a file here, whatever you prefer to use. Additionally, we need to make room for some of the various books and scrolls that we'll be adding to the miniature later on. This means a few cuts are in order to remove some of the existing belt-mounted details and parts where the feathers overhang. Again, how you approach these will vary from miniature to miniature, but you can't go wrong with a mix of clipping, shaving, and filing to get these parts removed. Being set in the world of Age of Sigmar, the Corvus Cabal aren't exactly equipped with the most up-to-date weaponry. Primitive spears and blades just won't cut it, excuse the pun, in the battlefields of the 41st millennium, so we need to modernize them a little with one of the autoguns taken from the House Delacour kit. Once you've chosen your weapon, start by cleaning up to the wrist joint to remove the small tab and to create a smooth surface in which to glue. With this done, you can take the arm that you wish to attach the weapon hand to and just make sure that you're using the correct hands here. But if you do mess up, well, we are dealing with the followers of Tzeentch here, so 2 left hands isn't exactly uncommon. Now, some of these arms may already have their own hands, so you'll need to clip away the hand first before cleaning up that joint, much like you've already done. Bring in your weapon arm to ensure that it fits and make adjustments accordingly. Once you are happy that everything is fitting together nicely, then you can glue the arm and the hand together. Now that we have prepared all of our pieces, we can begin to assemble them, now that they won't be getting in the way of our later steps. No self-respecting Thousand Suns cultist would be caught dead without some forbidden tome. Ironically, they'd probably end up dead too, should the Imperial authorities catch them with that kind of reading material. Now, to represent these repositories of unsanctioned knowledge, I've been dipping into our Flagellants kit once again. That kit is rife with books and scrolls that you can use on your Thousand Suns cultists. All that you need to do to use them is to carefully cut away the Sigmar icons using a knife or a file. Once they've been cleaned up, you can go ahead and glue your books and scrolls onto those spots around the waist that we cleared up earlier on. The final step is to give your cultists some slightly more futuristic equipment. The books and scrolls didn't really help us getting these guys set in the 41st millennium, but a few ammo pouches and grenades should help to remedy this nicely. The pouches and grenades can come from pretty much any 40k kit that you have to hand. I'm using the Cadian Lasgun pouch here, as the belt is a little too crowded with reading material at the moment. I've opted to make a few adjustments to the pouch before gluing it to the chest of our cultist instead, making use of the strap as an anchor point. Once this is done, all that's needed to do is to give your cultist a suitable basing scheme before painting them. Once that's all done, you should be left with something that looks like this. So, after watching this video, you should be armed with the knowledge of how to create some fairly simple Thousand Sons Cultist conversions. While it's often inevitable that these kinds of conversions will require extra cost or effort, I hope that the results make that extra expense and extra time spent on your miniature well worth it. So if you've enjoyed this Chaos Cultist conversion video, then be sure to check out my previous guides where I've already tackled the Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors, Death Guard, Word Bearers, and Night Lords. Next up will be the World Eaters, but let me know if you have any other conversion ideas you'd like to see me tackle in the future. If you're looking to recreate this conversion, then you'll probably want to buy yourself the individual extra parts from bits resellers rather than buying the full kits for them. I'd personally recommend Bitsbox as I've used them in numerous conversions and they're good friends of this channel. But for your base Corvus Cabal kit, check out Firestorm Games using my affiliates link in the description below. They offer discounts on Games Workshop products and they ship worldwide. Plus, anything you buy after using that link will send just a little bit of money my way too, which I can put directly into producing more of these conversion videos. And finally, let me just say a huge thank you to you guys who support me on Patreon. Your continued patronage really does help me with the costs of producing these videos and allow me to experiment more with some of my conversions. If you'd like to lend a hand too, I've included my Patreon page in the description below, where you can donate to me from as little as $1 a month. So, the only thing left to say is, thanks for watching, and goodbye.